They're so good.
Did you
Hey,
ever
everyone,
try
we're
the
gonna
ice cream?
start in about
Ice
5
cream?
minutes.
No.
You
Okay, everybody, welcome to the Tuesday, March 10th meeting of the Parks and Cultural Affairs Committee. Alexis Marnell, I'm the vice chair. Calling this meeting to order at 6:40. We do have quorum. Luana, the chair, will be here in about 20 minutes, and then she will reclaim her time as chair. Welcome again, everybody. We did have a wonderful, we attended Luana and myself, of course, Wayne Benjamin was there, and Steve Simon at the Morris Jamel groundbreaking. But I'm going to have Catherine and Wayne, and then Janet can talk about that more in depth. Having said that, we are going to jump right into programming updates. Let me get my timer set. And Catherine, let's start with you, Morris Jamel.
Sure. Thanks, Alexis. Good evening, everybody. My name is
Can't
Catherine.
hear you, dear.
I am not muted.
We can hear you on online.
Okay.
Online. I don't know about the room.
Yeah, I'm unmuted on my computer.
I think there's something like face on now. Is this one the projector?
Somebody's on mute. According to this is, check that, because according to this is got audio and video. Wayne, can you hear me? Put your thumb up.
I can hear you. I think.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
I think the folks in the room can't hear the folks on Zoom.
Okay, hold on for a sec. I'm just going to put us back on mute. Do you want me to go to the office? Yeah. See if there's somebody that can help us. Yeah.
Still nothing from me?
Yeah, stay tuned.
It's turned up there and here? Because it says turn it up, so is it this one to turn up or that? I'll take a look at that one, see what's turned up. Ask them to say something.
I will say something.
All right.
So you can now all hear me.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Wait, just a minute. Now we got reverb when I speak.
No, he's gonna leave.
Okay. You just give me the sign.
Building.
You're good to go?
Wait, you put the volume up on this? Do you have this?
Yes.
And that's the way that you guys were.
Yeah, but now we hear the echo.
But we're hearing it over there or not at all?
We couldn't hear participants at all. Okay, try it now.
Okay. Can you?
No, Catherine, you can't hear her. No.
So I can hear it on the live.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
Oh, now.
Okay, Catherine, can you be our guinea pig again?
I can hear you.
Sorry.
But you can't hear me.
She's working on, they're working on it.
Okay.
Okay, Catherine, give me a testing 1, 2, 3.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
That turned red. The owl never turns red.
No.
Still not.
Maybe saying that. One of them may be saying.
Oh, we never talked about. No, I didn't so.
Okay. Catherine, give me a 1, 2, 3 again.
1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Yes.
Your lifesaver, thank you.
You did something.
Thank
you, dear.
Thank you. Don't go too far.
Okay,
Well,
so Catherine.
after all of that, let me
What's
quickly
coming?
say that I have 4 things. First, yes, the groundbreaking at the Morris Jamel Mansion for the restoration happened yesterday. And thank you all who were there for coming. It was quite an afternoon event. We were very thrilled to have so many partners and community members there. So that was really great. Second, we have Family Day on the 14th of March. That is going to be making paper terrariums, which is a really fun thing. So that's from 1 to 3 in the basement of the mansion. So you can still come, you just have to go around to the basement entrance. And then we have a concert that we have partnered with Trinity Chapel to show. That is Trinity Chapel at 153rd and Riverside. And that is a really cool concert with Wild Line Chamber Orchestra. And they are doing a piece that is specially the set that they're doing is specially made for Women's History Month. They did one last month for Black History Month. They had a spoken word poet work with them. It was really beautiful. So if you want to see any of these things, well, for that, you can go to our website and register for it. It's free. And then finally, we have our Easter egg hunt on March 28th from 12 to 3. And we are very excited to have our 3rd annual Easter egg hunt. It is a no rain date event. It's outside. So we're just really hoping for weather like today. And we also need volunteers. So if anyone is interested in helping us attend to the,
Okay, time's up, dear,
okay,
but send me your report.
sure.
I'll fit that in. We'll put that in, don't worry. Okay, and then next up, we have Friends of Inwood Hill Park. Do you have a report today, or are you here for the Reza? Oh, there you are.
Hello. Hi. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Love it. Okay. I wrote it down because it's a bit long. All right. So we had our community meeting on February 21st at the Inwood Hill Nature Center. Really nice community attendance, participation, and that was thanks to the generosity of the Urban Park Rangers. We did have to postpone our scheduled kind of kickoff event for March 1st because of the weather. So our spring stewardship season started this past Saturday on March 7th with a street tree care event, which was great. That was on Payson Ave. And then the following day, I don't know if the Inwood Canoe Club is here, but we did a shoreline cleanup in partnership with them. So just warming up, getting those muscles going, and getting people reminded that spring is here. We have stewardship events every weekend for the rest of March. So those will be on March 15th, 21st, and 28th. No registration is required, just show up. We're also preparing for a few big events, which are going to be the 11th Annual Earth Day Festival on Saturday, April 25th, and Riverkeeper Suite the following Saturday on May 2nd, also in partnership with the Inwood Canoe Club. And I don't know if I need to get into this too much now, if we're going to discuss it later, but we are moving forward with efforts to develop the Sally Fisher Memorial Garden and entrance at the entrance at Inwood Hill Park at Seaman and Isham.
The Reza was on the agenda for this evening.
Okay,
Don't worry.
gotcha. Yeah, I will not belabor the point there, but we're really excited. We're going to be sharing the dates for our April stewardship. I will share the March one here. I don't know if I can put a picture in the chat, but I will. I can send those to you to add to.
Yeah, just email it to me.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
And that's it? Oh, wow, under time. Very good. Do we have anybody else from any Parks and Cultural Affairs on the call? I mean, anybody, any other cultural orgs?
We want to. Oh, okay.
Okay. Yes, Daniel Stein? Daniel Stein? Ms. Stein, can you put in the chat or in the Q? Oh, I see you did the Q&A. Yeah, okay, let me, okay, Inwood Canoe Club. I don't know why it's not letting me promote you to panelists. Let me try this again. Ms. Stein, I apologize. I do not know why the computer doesn't even give me the option to promote you to panelist, which it usually does. So I apologize for that. All right. So,
Alexis, are you host?
yeah,
Then it should definitely let you. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I've never seen that. I've never had that issue before. So I'm just going to try one more time here. Well, let me see now. Just said no. Okay, it should say, all right, now it is. They just gave me the host back. Okay, Danielle, I apologize for that.
No worries. Thank you for the for promoting me to panelist.
Super. And you're able to hear me now?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm speaking for the Inwood Canoe Club this week, filling in for Commodore Julie McCoy. On our report for this week and this month is that, as Friends of Inwood Hill Park mentioned, we had shoreline cleanups on February 1st, condensed due to the extreme cold, and on 8th of March. Our next event will be on 4th of April and is available on our website at inwoodcanoenyc.org. Otherwise, the club is preparing for the summer open house season, which will launch Memorial Day weekend, offering free kayaking to the whole community.
And is that it?
It is. Thank
Oh,
you.
you were wonderful. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so if there's no other cultural or friends of, we can go to the parks report. Who is speaking on behalf of Jana this evening?
Hi, it's me, Carlos.
Okay,
I'll be
great,
speaking
Carlos.
Jenna and Chris. So I will give the special events kind of calendar of events that way you're referencing, right? So tomorrow, the Urban Park Rangers are starting their monthly nature exploration hike out of Inwood Hill Park at 1 p.m. They'll be meeting up at 218 and Indian Road. But the hike will begin at the nature center, and they'll be highlighting some keystone species in Inwood Hill Park. On the 14th, there is an Inwood Hill Park forest restoration event at 10 a.m. Departing from Seaman Avenue in Isham, so that main entrance to Inwood Hill Park. And the stewardship team um, will be working with volunteers to protect the forested areas in Inwood Hill Park. So they'll be doing some, removing of invasive species, and helping clean up some of that space there. On the 15th, there will be an ethnobotany hike as well in Inwood Hill at 1 p.m., led by the Urban Park Rangers, which will, they'll be essentially talking about local plants in the park used to make medicine, and how they may still be used today. So it's a very interesting look at some of the plants in our park and how they can be beneficial to our health. On the 21st, the Natural Areas Conservancy will be leading a Super Steward Pathkeeper training in Fort Tryon Park, and that'll start at 10 a.m. on the 21st. And they'll essentially be teaching pathkeepers how to identify plants, invasive, non-native plants, doing some pruning as well as other trail maintenance skills. And that again is on the 21st at 10 a.m. in Fort Tryon Park, meeting near the Margaret Corbin Circle. Also on the 21st will be another tour of the High Bridge Water Tower. That starts at 1 p.m. And they'll be meeting by the rec center near the water tower. But they'll have tours starting between 1 all the way through till like around 2:45. But that's free and open to all. And they'll give a tour of the inside of the water tower and take people all the way up to the top. And the last one I'll mention is on the 28th. It's a fantastic fungi mushroom ID hike in Inwood Hill Park, led by the Urban Park Rangers. They'll be meeting at Seaman and Isham Street in Inwood Hill Park, and they'll be, teaching all who participate about, fungi and their role in the ecosystem of the forest. And yeah.
Thank you, Carl. We'll hold up on the capital part because I have Joy Hecht who's going to give her report, and then I have to give a report, an update on behalf of Northern Manhattan Arts Alliance.
Sounds good.
Thank you, dear.
Okay, I'm with Harlem River Community Rowing, student one thing. Just a few updates where we are. We're gonna be back on the water on April 11th, so we are excited about that. We're having a day on probably the 4th of April, people to come down and help re-rig our boats and make sure everything seems in working order for us to get started. We have ordered a new coaches launch so that this season we should be, in principle, be able to have twice as many practices as before, because we can have two separate groups going out, one with each coach. Launch is going to be coming in a few weeks. That having twice as many programs depends on us having enough people to coach. So we're looking for more coaches. You know, anybody who wants to coach rowing, have to be experienced, let us know, but we've been looking in the rowing communities and have a few possibilities. So that should be good. We are planning, last year we had 3 novice rowing programs, and this year we're already definitely having 6. So, you know, no matter what else we increase, more novice rowing, because there's huge demand. And that frustrates us all. And the only other thing is this is our 20th year of being in operations. We are planning some 20th birthday festivities. They're still in the planning stage. We haven't fixed in most of the dates we haven't fixed yet. Probably a big event at Inwood in June, maybe July, where we're gonna hopefully be getting lots of people down to see what we're up to. We're gonna have christenings for our 2 motorboats, our launches, our coaches launches, because we've never done that. Opportunities for people to go out in the launches along with rowers and different things like that. And you will all be invited. We'll be getting more information out once we have a date.
Okay,
Sounds
thank
good.
you.
And just to remind everyone that Harlem River Community Rowing is the only free rowing program for adults in the city of New York. If not, in
We're
the
the only
United
rowing
States.
program for adults.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Not only the only free one.
Okay, thank you. So now I'm just going to read a report from Martin Collins on behalf of Northern Manhattan Arts Alliance. Says that they're looking forward to everybody's participation in the annual month-long celebration that is the Uptown Art Stroll this June in Washington Heights, Inwood, and West Harlem. Please calendar visual and performing arts events by May 1st to be published in the printed guide, which is they print out 5,000 copies at www.nomaanyc.org/events calendar. And then all events received by and after May 1st will be published in their online calendar, and the QR code and all collateral will take you there. The Uptown Art Stroll poster contest is open until March 15th. Grand prize, $2,000. Second prize, $1,000. Third prize, $500. Artists must reside or work from West 125th to West 220th. And then you can go, info and submission is online at the NOMA website. And then on Tuesday, May 19th at 7 p.m. At the join them for the Natalie Cole Community Choir and Emmett Cohen Trio at Harlem School of the Arts. Again, go to the NOMA website to RSVP. And finally, the Uptown Art Stroll opens Monday, June 1st from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at the Hispanic Society Museum and Library and Academy of Arts and Letters with performances by the National Jazz Museum in Harlem. Everyone is invited. Thank you. So now, Carlos, you're also going to be reading the Capitol update?
Yes, yes, I am.
Okay, so just before you get into that, I want to let you know that we have a question from somebody. So do you have, and is there any update on this? Will you be able to give us an update on the status of the Dyckman Marina project? And do you have any updates on the start date for the construction?
I do have an update. Let me just double check.
All right, just as long as you have an update, you can just talk about it during
Right. Okay.
your time. Okay, and go ahead, dear. Thank you.
Okay. Also, I just wanted to flag one other thing. Rafael Gonzalez, he's a CEC from Partnerships for Parks, and I don't know if he should go before or what. Because I don't
What
know
is
if he
his
was
name?
on the agenda. Rafael, he's one of the presenters on here, but I noticed he
I
hasn't.
don't have him on the agenda.
Gotcha. Okay. All
And
right.
we have 2 resolutions to discuss, so I
Gotcha.
can't add
Yeah.
that today.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Um, Well, I'll start at the top here. So the snowstorm recovery, we had another challenging storm because of volume and the timing of the storm. Um, but because of the warmer temps and rain following those storms, you know, we we were able to kind of tackle some of the other things that had had been ignored throughout the snow operation, which was fantastic. There was um, you know it gave us a few days to focus on perimeter sidewalks, bus stops, fire hydrants, and crosswalks. Um, Staff were detailed to assist DSNY with clearing similar areas throughout Washington Heights and Inwood. The rest of the week, they were able to focus on interior pathways and greenways and 311 calls. So we're all looking forward to the spring. Um, Moving on to Lily Brown and Riverside, the Riverside cleanup that had been discussed. We had to reschedule because of weather and agency capacity, um, but we have another cleanup scheduled for the 18th, um, as well as ideally with DOT and DSNY to assist with pruning and dead tree removal. We have a few anticipated cleanups in the area as it stretches, a 7 block radius from 158th to 165th. So it's going to take multiple efforts to kind of make sure that that space is on track. Um, but yes, moving on to capital projects, Lily Brown reconstruction has received a 30-day extension. So Con Edison is set to complete utility work. There's a walkthrough inspection on the 12th. So play equipment is mostly installed. Asphalt and safety surface will be next. The anticipated opening is for late March, early April. Um, Inwood ball fields 1, 2, and 4 um, also received a 30-day extension. I think most of this is due to the weather events. So it pushed out a lot of active projects, 2 to 4 weeks. Um, and so it's at 95% completion. So there's still some work to be done, but it's mostly regarding the sod and things like that. If you've been by recently, you can see that sod hasn't been put down. Fields will remain closed until at least early April, so sod can properly knit. Original finish date was March 15th, but now is April 15th. The Billings Lawn Restoration in Fort Tryon, the restored lawn will remain closed through April to establish the grass and give us time to complete drain line repair. Permitted events will resume May 1st. Okay. Quisqueya restrooms reconstruction. 17 months over schedule. So next substantial completion inspection is scheduled for March 24th. There's a potential opening in April. So hopefully, if everything goes right, we should be able to open in April of this year. Isham and Inwood retaining walls reconstruction. Work on both walls has recommenced. Parking permit on Payson Ave is through to the end of March, so March 31st. The tentative completion is for spring of this year. So work on the second Isham wall in the alley is to commence after that. 186th Street basketball court. So it's at 54% completion. The work has recommenced following weather delays. And that's all the notes I have here. The J. Hood Wright retaining wall and ramp reconstruction is, at 30%. The work has recommenced following weather delays. Slated completion is for November of this year. 181st Pinehurst Steps Garden reconstruction. The work will start next week. Anticipated completion will be March of next year. J. Hood Wright Dog Run reconstruction. The design phase has begun. We had a community input meeting on the 17th of February. And we're still waiting to see some designs and things like that from the planning committee. Morris Jamel Mansion renovation. We already got an update on that, but the groundbreaking was a lot of fun. It was great to see everyone there. And I'm glad we got a lot of beautiful weather yesterday. Fort Tryon Park retaining wall reconstruction. This includes 3 walls: the Cloisters lawn, below Cloisters entrance to the south, and above Dungan lawn. So it's the construction is due to start in May of this year, and hopefully there's no end date on that at the moment, but hopefully within the year we should have that finished. Edgecombe Dog Run. There is a pilot dog run to be built in-house by Parks this March, either March or April, using 8K raised by group led by Avatar Neil. It's to be located at West 162nd and Edgecombe in Highbridge Park. And
That
then
can't come a
finally,
moment too soon.
yes. I can't even imagine. When we were out there, I did notice that there was some fresh piles, not something left behind by by the snow, but some new stuff. But yes. But moving on, Dykeman Marina reconstruction. The Marinas Division continues to increase public programming and youth employment at the site, both of which will continue through the construction period. The construction timeline remains the same. So that's the notes I have there.
So there's no start date for the construction?
No, nothing listed here that says that.
Okay, next month, can you just ask that we have somebody from the Marina Division to come in for April to give get a more specific update from the Marina Division for your report in April? Thank
Yes,
you.
I'm making a note right here, right now.
Thank you.
So to continue with this, projects that are in design currently, there's McKenna Square renovation. So the community input process is slated to begin in June of this year. The Inwood Ball Field Diamond 6 lighting. So the design phase is still in process. Presentation to CB12 to follow soon. Amelia Gorman Park. We continue to work with Councilmember De La Rosa's office on funding, and Parks Capital team is working out logistical challenges. The anticipated budget for entire renovation is $20 million. And the last thing here, it says wooden Amtrak bridge replacement and path detour in Fort Washington. 2 separate design processes, 18-month and 1 year, that started in late February of this year. No schedule for public scoping yet. Detour to be constructed first, then bridge. The construction is 2 to 3 years out. And that is all. That is everything. That's my report.
Okay, thank you. Before we go into the resos that we need to discuss, are there any questions? Okay, our committee member, Jody Herson has a question.
Hi, Carlos. How are you?
How's it going?
Good. Did I hear right? Is the Riverside Drive cleanup project what we've been talking about for so long, from 158 to 165 along that embankment where Lily Brown sits in the middle?
Yes, correct.
Ooh,
Yes.
Yeah. So you said that you had to postpone the day to clean up, but you're starting it on the 18th now?
Correct. Yes, that's the date we have scheduled for that.
That's fantastic, Carlos. Very exciting.
Yeah, super exciting.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not for you because it involves cleanup, but it's really exciting that we're starting. Is that also right now including DSNY, Parks, and DOT?
Yes. So the note says here with DSNY and ideally DOT. So I'm not sure that
Okay.
DOT has quite been uh, added to the invite just yet.
Okay,
Or at least like
okay,
we haven't confirmed their presence yet.
okay. All right, great. Thank you, Carlos.
Mhm.
Okay, anybody else on the committee have any questions for them? All right, Daryl, do you have any questions?
No, thanks.
Okay. Wayne or Liz, who's also known as Alexis Marnell here?
Questions about what? I have no idea
That's
what
you
we're
just
talking
went on.
about right now.
Okay. Wayne, do you have any questions?
I do not. No, thanks.
Okay. All right. Having said that, I'm going to turn this back over to.
No. You start it, you finish it.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yeah, my apologies for being delayed. I was dealing with a personal matter, but I'm here and we have quorum for resolutions
Yeah.
tonight.
So that you can take the notes on the resos. Okay, we are going to start with the discussion about the resolution to name the entrance plaza of Inwood Hill Park in honor of Sally Fisher. We will have support. We will be getting letters of support from Carmen De La Rosa's office and from the Manhattan Borough President's office. Just want to forgive me for a second. I have to go back to my notes. So, as we had, just to give you some context, the Friends of Inwood Hill Park was reborn at the plaza with Sally and Mr. Chris Whitney hosting their first event there. Sally lived by the plaza and organized many events there. The community comes together at that plaza and has potential to be even more of a community hub. And this could be a place where activities melding art and nature could be held, two things that were very important to Sally Fisher. There's also an ongoing effort to revitalize the area in conjunction with such partners as Shore Walkers, New York City's Parks and Inwood Baseball. So we have been talking about this renaming this since September, and we're glad that we're going to get this underway. Kaya, is there anything that Chris wanted to add or anything you had that you wanted to add?
You're mute.
Oh, wait, I unmuted her. There she is. Go ahead.
Hello. Yes, Chris was not able to be here, unfortunately, but we wanted to say we greatly appreciate the support of this committee and especially Alexis of you. Sally was on this committee, for those of you who knew her. FIP is the third version, started originally in the 70s and then in the 90s and then in 2015. She passed away in November of 2022, and it was a tremendous loss for the community, for the park, for everybody. We're trying to continue on in the work that we do and also activating this space in her memory and to carry forward the ideals and what she believed in and what she would have wanted done in the park in her memory and her name. We really appreciate the support. We're looking to continue moving forward with this space. So we are working with a landscape architect. Our leadership is in conversation with parks. I think they're actually meeting. Carlos will be there on Friday, just to clarify some last minute details, and then hopefully to get serious work going in April. So right in time with the ball field reopening, with our Earth Day, with all of this. So making the space an opportunity for gardening and education and arts and yes, echoing all the things that you said. So we're really tremendously excited about the support. We greatly appreciate it. And we look forward to, seeing everybody in the park and providing future updates at the next meeting of what that looks like and the progress we've made. We've raised a considerable amount of money from donors and foundations and organizations like Shore Walkers. We recently received a donation from the Simmons Foundation, which was really exciting. I can't plug like fundraising here, that feels inappropriate, but we are a volunteer.
Not really.
Okay, we accept your money and it is tax deductible.
Plug along.
We have a great website, inwoodhillpark.org. You can read all about us there. You can see our calendar and what we're doing. We've had a lot of people over many years request a desire to do some gardening in the park, and this would really be the first opportunity that we had to provide a garden to Inwood Hill Park. Something, even comparable, though definitely different and distinct than, say, the Heather Gardens in Fort Tryon Park or the more manicured areas in Isham Park. So it's really exciting to be able to give the community this kind of space and this kind of opportunity in so many different ways, and to keep Sally's memory alive and going forward for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank
The
you.
fundraising was for Sally.
It was for that.
That
whole
area.
portion,
That area,
yeah.
that whole area. And Liz, rock up. Go ahead, dear. You're on.
Thanks. So just to be clear about the area that we're talking about, this is like, it's not the rest area on Payson where Beak ends at Payson. It's the one that's a little bit further south as you enter the park.
No, it's the
or it's the
entrance
one
at
up by
Stephen and Aisha.
218th Street. Okay, gotcha. I
Right
mean,
across from the
really,
farmer's
there
market.
is no part of Inwood Hill Park that wouldn't be appropriate to name after Sally. She activated every part of that park. I was thinking it was the part further south close to Dykeman, so I was going to note that that's where a tree was planted in her son's honor and in her honor at a wonderful public event that we put together, as it turns out, like 2 weeks before she died. But she was a tremendous advocate for every part of that park. She raised awareness for that park. She brought people up to the park. She brought programming into the park. I love this. She was a huge fan of the farmers market. She was one of the people in the early days that helped get it off the ground. And I think that whatever is in the reso, it would be appropriate to mention her advocacy around the butterfly garden that's in, not technically the park, but across the street on that the southeast corner of when she was a member of this committee.
Liz,
and
you're
I was
breaking
chairing it for the. Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
But the way that she advocated for the bringing water service to Isham Park at that south western corner of the park, which is to say the northeastern corner of that intersection. So she was just all out that part of the park. And yeah, I love this. Do we have an actual draft reso?
That will be worked on after this meeting.
Okay, because I'm happy to, it should also include like some basic biographical information, which I'm happy to provide from her sister, and some additional information around her advocacy, not only of the park, which FERP can provide, but all of the many ways in which she contributed as a citizen water evaluator, all the work that she did with shore walkers, the work that she did with trash pickups in various areas of Inwood Hill Park, but also some of the other parks, and just a whole laundry list of her advocacy for programming and stewardship in and around the park.
And one of the reasons, Liz, that Chris thought, again, that it was appropriate to name the entrance in her honor is because, like I said, that's where they first kind of did their first event. And also what this would do would really blend her love of nature and art together. We're having family art activities and such. Luana,
I love this.
Hi, Liz. Thank you for asking if there was a reso. I have to give credit to Alexis, who really spearheaded this project. And in a very Alexis nature, she wanted, rather than presenting a resolution, she wanted to have a discussion during this meeting so that we can take notes and then draft the resolution collectively to present to the
100%.
next meeting. So yeah, we do
100%.
appreciate if you have any notes, anything, any suggestions. It's a
Yeah, yeah.
collaborative document. We appreciate it.
Okay. Yeah, I've certainly got some information from the proc that we put together for her at the November 2022 event. And there was one other event that I was thinking of. But yeah, I can get you that language, Alexis, and I'm happy to work on that with you.
Thank you.
It's kind of hard to talk about this without crying.
I know. She was very, very, particularly very important to you. And I always remember
Yeah.
you saying, like, it was hard for you not to, whenever you make applesauce now, it's very hard not to think that you're not dropping her off a jar of famous applesauce.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wayne, did you want to weigh in at all?
Other than echoing what Liz said, I think this is absolutely appropriate and a wonderful tribute to Sally.
It also occurs to me that we should probably, although it doesn't factor into Inwood Hill Park specifically, it's probably useful to have a whereas about some of the other stuff that she did on the community board. She was treasurer. She was a fierce advocate in the health and environment committee on environmental issues, and also on the services of psychiatric beds at at the Allen Pavilion, and trying to make sure that those beds were brought back when they had been lost. And she took a very, very active role in the Northern Manhattan the NMAC, Northern Manhattan Arts Coalition, and arts programming in and around mostly Inwood, but also Washington Heights. And this was additional to Inwood Hill Park. So I think sort of speaking to her larger footprint in the community is important.
Okay, does Luana?
Yeah, I agree, Liz. This is not just about the work that Sally did around parks, but we're honoring somebody that belonged to the community board and who was a very committed community board member. So I think that what you're saying is also of importance, not just in terms of what she did for parks, but also what she did as a member of the community board. And that's why she deserves this honor.
And what people don't know, I mean, you can look it up. It was in articles. 2020 did a piece, but she did the single most selfless thing anybody could have done after her son passed away. And this is one of the reasons she was another reason she was an advocate for getting those beds restored at Allen. Her son had some issues and he passed away, and he was an organ donor. And within hours after he died, she got a phone call asking if
No, it wasn't a phone call. I was there.
Oh,
I was
okay, go
there.
ahead.
A doctor came up and said, we know that Willie was an organ donor, but we have a very special request. Would he be willing to donate his face for a face transplant? And while he was still on life support, but brain dead, she agreed to his organs and his face being harvested, and his face was then transplanted onto another young man who was terribly disfigured from an accident and now has a face that looks in the same way that children look like their mothers and their fathers. This young man now looks sort of like him and sort of like Will. And there was a piece in 2020, there was a piece in People magazine. You can look it up. It was quite remarkable. Yeah.
Question?
Yes, go ahead, Joy.
Did Sally know the young man who got the face, or did she meet him?
She did not know him. She did subsequently meet him. And he had a very particular personal story that Sally found especially compelling, given, you know, her own history and Will's own history. And as a result of her son's death, this other young man got, you know, a whole new lease on life. It was quite a thing.
Thank you for saying all that, Liz.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Or anything that people feel might be relevant? Okay. So we will get that drafted and should we vote on it now? Or we're gonna wait till I present it.
Well, yeah. This is just a discussion to collect information and, you know, we should be working collaboratively with Liz. I think Liz
Yes.
has a lot of.
Oh, she does.
I'm gonna take you up on the offer, Liz, to send
You
us
bet.
a couple of, bullets.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also her work with On Point and the Washington Heights Corner Project.
Yeah.
I mean, there really wasn't a major issue before the community board that she didn't really dig deep on.
That is very true. Thank you. Thank you very much, Liz. So now we are going to discuss the resolution in support of 1% for, well, this resolution actually was both in support of 1% for parks and 1% for arts for the fiscal year 24 budget. I'm going to defer to Luana.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, on this, and she can just.
So, I don't think we ever agreed to 1% of arts. I don't know who accepted the friendly, like, I don't think we discussed an amendment, because this is part of the advocacy group, 1% for parks,
This
that
is what-
pushes,
I don't know, this is what was, she printed out from 2020.
Yeah. So here we are again. Liz,
Yeah, go ahead.
before, did you have a question?
Yeah, it's not a friendly amendment. My guess is what happened there is because several years ago, this committee and the board passed a resolution supporting 1% for parks and 1% for art. For years, we've passed resolutions before, going back many years, even before I was chair, for 1% for parks. And then back in, I want to say 2020, might have been 2021, but it was for, I think, the 2024 budget. So I think it would have been 2021, but whenever it was, we passed we passed at least once, possibly twice, resolutions for 1% for parks and 1% for art. So while it's true that, like, Mamdani was all about committing to 1% for parks, one of the things that we have done on this board and in this committee is both arts and parks. So there's certainly precedent for kind of renewing our commitment to those two things and updating the reso to specifically cite the current mayor's commitment to it, as I think we may have cited not the prior mayor who didn't give a shit about parks or art, but the one before.
Language, Liz, it's being streamed.
I'm sorry. My bad.
We're streaming live.
It's just, okay, I promise I won't say that. I won't say that anymore. But I believe that an earlier reso that the board had passed did cite then Mayor DeBio for 1% parks. I think also 1% art. So, you know, I certainly don't want to get in the way of the 1% for parks people's advocacy on this issue, but it's totally precedented for us to combine the two. And, you know, particularly since so much of what we do in this community with arts happens in parks, unlike other community boards where they just don't have as many parks. It feels appropriate to me to include that in this reso.
Okay, so thank you for that, Liz. So in conversation with members of the community and fellow community board members, the question of where does parks stand? As a reminder, I believe that Parks is the only city agency that doesn't have its own budget. Is that's
No, it has its own budget. It doesn't have its own capital budget.
Exactly. Doesn't have its own capital budget. Thank you for that, Liz. So I think that what we want to do is, once again, now that we have new leadership and new administration, is to once again push this resolution forward. Because this was an issue, well, not so much culture, but 1% for parks. This was an issue that was debated on, and all candidates during election time agreed that they would allocate 1% for parks. Now, even though now this current resolution is conflating parks with arts, I want to be strategic in that what we're doing is making sure that we're holding the administration accountable based on what they debated to get to garner votes. So this is more about accountability. This is what you said on debate night. You committed 1% for parks, and now we're going to hold you to that promise that was made. So I don't know, the resolution is here for you to read. We may add.
Is it possible for you to screen share?
Or
Or can someone email it to me?
Liz, I'll text it to you right now.
Perfect.
Okay. So the resolution is before you.
Can you text it to me too, please?
Sure.
Oh.
Daryl, send me a text message, please, so that I can reply.
No, I have Liz's. Thank you.
My apologies. I should have told Paola to send it to, she printed it here, so. But it's coming to you. So the one whereas that I would like to add is you made a commitment during the debates. Maybe list the date of that debate. Whereas on so and so, the question of 1% for parks was asked on debate night, and you said yes. I mean that is a way to, of course, I'll word it in a way that is appropriate. All right, Daryl.
I don't.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know that you necessarily have to cite the debate. I think the date of the debate. I think that you can cite the fact that during the campaign he made that commitment, because if you state it more broadly, then by association, that's going to include any other times he might have mentioned it. And like, who's got the time to like comb the newspapers to see if he made that commitment more than once? We know he made the commitment at least once, and he campaigned on that.
Right.
So I would say you committed to this publicly and you campaigned on it, and we'd like to hold you to that.
Jody had a question or a statement?
Just Luana, if you look at whereas number 4, you can slot it right in.
Yeah. Thank you. Now, if we're going to make a case that Parks is the only city agency without, is it the only, so all other agencies do have their, what was it, Liz, capital budgets, operating budgets? What was it? Capital. So that means that we cannot, if let's say DCLA, right? It is the city agency that is linked to arts, then that is sort of like a moot point. Am I making sense or am I rambling?
No. I hear where you're going with it, and
Yes.
I disagree, and here's why. It is true that Parks is the only agency that does not have its own capital budget. And they have to, identify capital projects and then shop them around to elected officials who have funding sources and say, we would like you to fund X. So that is true. And that is a separate whereas that is important to capture just why it is so difficult for the Parks Department to get capital projects done. But I don't think there's anything, even though DCLA does not have that particular problem, I don't think there's anything about advocating for 1% for arts that is at all at the expense of 1% for parks. So these are the two things. There are three things in city budgets that tend to be treated as like some fluffy extra, and that's parks, arts, and libraries.
Right.
And I mean, libraries are outside the purview of this committee, but people, the same arguments are made for all three of those funding things, that these are not like fluffy extras that we do when we have some additional money and we're done funding the important things. These are centrally important things which materially affect quality of life, health, crime, all of the stuff that people think of as the stuff that we're supposed to be funding. It's linked to education, it's linked to mental health, it's linked to physical health. There are many ways in which funding for parks and funding for arts materially improves quality of life. So I don't think, I do believe, and if you look at the reso that had gone to, I guess it was Adams back in 24, the arguments made for why these funding streams are important are similar for the two of them.
Okay. I just want to make sure that we're not sort of like shooting ourselves in the foot, We want to get.
No, I don't think we are. I think the reso looks something like, whereas parks are important, whereas, for any number of reasons, list them or not, whereas whereas they don't have their own capital budget, whereas they only get, I think it's like 0.6 something percent, 0.6 of a percent, like it's less than 1%, and you would have to almost double their funding for it to rise to 1%. Whereas you campaigned on this, and then whereas arts only gets, I think it's like 0.48 of a percent, and it too materially affects quality of life and crime and education and blah, blah, blah. And, these are the ways in which quality of life would be improved with doubling that budget. We are advocating for these two things, but I don't think it comes at either comes at the expense of the other.
Okay.
And we are the Parks and Cultural Affairs Committee.
Right. Okay. Makes sense. Thank you.
Does anybody on the committee have any questions? No? Daryl, you got a question? Comment, concern?
No, sorry, it's hard to read. Are we saying this specifically for the next fiscal year?
No, the upcoming fiscal year, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just making sure that's spelled out.
Yep. Took a note. Thank you.
Okay.
I mean, for this, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Wayne, do you have anything to add? Maybe you went bye-bye, Wayne, I don't know.
Maybe he's talking and he's mute. Can I say something?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that we have to also be more robust in stating how we fare in comparison to other US cities. And you can see if it's useful, because I know that, for example, whenever we look at city government, state government, we'll always look at, what is this? Sorry. We'll always look at other cities for guidance.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if it would serve purposefully for us to say, whereas these are the 5 most populated cities in the world, or however we want to do it, and this is how they spend them, and it's above 1%. I think we are among the lowest. Most cities, they do have at least 1%. And municipal governments are always looking for ideas from other cities and other states. So maybe I'm wondering if it would be, like I said, if it would be useful to put in a whereas and compare. Jody,
You're brilliant, but it is right here.
Yes, I did. Okay.
It says Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Chicago allocate 1.5% to up to 4% of their budgets to parks.
Well, maybe add more cities then.
Yes, just add a few more
Boston.
cities. But your idea was right on.
Yeah. Well, I drafted this. I was chair when we drafted this. I forget.
One more, Kaya, you had a question?
Yes, thank you. I don't know if it's in the text of the resolution, but it might be worth noting or just interesting to point out that park lands make up, I believe, 14% of the city by area. So you're managing almost 15% of the city on 0.5% of a budget.
Yes. That's good mathing. The math
Yeah,
is
and in
not
the case
mathing.
of case of Community Board 12, it's like 38%. It's almost 40%. I mean, we have an unusually large amount of parkland.
Is there a national organization of municipal or state parks that would have benchmark statements as to what is a healthy percentage? In other words, is there any national standards that are advocated by any kind of national association? I don't know, but I'm just wondering if presented in a more
Yes.
fashion, as opposed to thinking it way.
Yeah. All right, Carlos Acosta from Parks, you're still on here, right? Can you speak to that?
Sorry, no, I don't have any of those.
I barely hear you, dear.
Hold on, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I don't have any of that stuff in front of me at the moment. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to say offhand.
Okay, no problem. Kaya?
So it's not exactly what you're looking for, but the Natural Areas Conservancy runs a network of cities through their Forest in Cities alignment. So it's a national conference. They have one every year, but it's people who care for parks and other forested areas in cities, specifically nationwide. And they get more and more cities every year. I think they're up to 30 something. And it's a big part of what they do. And they have a upcoming event on Monday from noon to 1, doing a kind of preparation on how to offer testimonials at the city budgeting that is coming up, I believe, on March 23rd. So I would say that the Natural Areas Conservancy is your best bet. And their website is fantastic. Their resources are really great. And the woman who runs their advocacy to that element, Sam Lawson, is the manager of the cities Forest in Cities workshop. And then I believe their Conservancy Lunch and Learn is being led by Emily Walker, who's the manager of their external affairs. So she's a wonderful person and great to get in touch with. I think you'll see her a lot if you look at any of their social media, but she's the person, and they do that kind of advocacy.
Thank you. Okay.
I'm sorry, I have to hop off. I've got a screaming 13-month-old.
But he's a cute one.
He's very cute, but he's really struggling. He does not like it when Grandpa wipes dinner off of his face. So
All right, Liz, thanks for everything tonight.
yeah,
Thank you.
thank you, and we'll be in touch to do some drafty, and I'm happy to, pitch in on this one as well.
Thank you.
I love these projects.
I know. All right.
All
take
right.
care.
Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you.
All right, so we can move on.
I took my notes here. And then
So,
fourth.
do we have any old
Wait,
business?
I had some. I'm gonna make a little bit of wordsmithing on the old resolution and some suggestions. I'm writing it.
Thank you.
Didn't rise to bother to tell everybody. I've been Googling whether there's any national recommendations, but I did.
Thank you. Okay, so any old business? No, new business?
I had a new business thing.
Rock on, Daryl.
Hi. Sorry, I've been off camera most of the time. No, I was just wondering. Sorry, I'm trying to toggle back and forth. If we've ever done anything, and this may be for Wayne. I don't know if Wayne is still on, and I'm sorry Liz got off. But anything with the Historic Landmarks Preservation Center and their Notable New Yorkers program. Are folks familiar with this?
No.
You often see, and I see this downtown all the time, there are these like reddish orange plaques with like a black outline. They're oval and they're on various buildings, and it tells that someone famous, notable lived here. And I passed by one the other day, and I'd been thinking about it for a while, and I just came across one and took a picture. And if they have a whole map of this, and there's a number, dozens and dozens of people on it, but there's only 3 above 135th Street and only 1 above 155th Street. One person, and we certainly have more notable people than that. And a lot of these folks have been, contributed to culture and other things, throughout the city. So I don't know if that would fall under our committee, possibly Wayne's, I'm not sure. But I think it would be interesting to look into and maybe pass some resolutions in the future to suggest that they add some people, or maybe brainstorm about adding people.
So I will say this, there's a woman in my building who has an organization, 555 Edgecombe. It's a historic, it's a landmark building. And she has an organization called While We're Still Here. And she got money from the National Endowment of the Humanities to put, and you might see them around here, there it says While We're Still Here, and they're blue. And it has different, and it's in front of places where people, African Americans live. So like in front of my building, it has something about Paul Robeson. Now in front of Avatar Neal, who was on Jamel Terrace, there's one in honor of his father, Larry Neal, who was literally a godfather of the Black arts movement. There's, you see him, it's all over the city, but particularly in Harlem and up through here.
What's it called again? I'm sorry.
It's called, her organization is called While We're Still Here. And so she got money for those markers. And they're all around.
And the one that is above 155th Street is Paul Robeson. Oddly, they have him, according to the website, at 16 Jamel Terrace.
Yeah, he did, but
Not
actually
555 Edgecombe.
he did live, well, that's why it's technically called the Paul Robeson Residence. He lived there first before he bought his home on Jamel Terrace.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So that's why they had that. They also kind of renamed the street. Paul Robeson, they did a street naming, and it's in some places, it's called the Paul Robeson Residence. You know,
Yeah.
555 Edgecombe. It's got different names, Roger Morris Apartments, but it's also called the Paul Robeson Residence.
Yeah.
But there's more, like in the 130s, 140s, and 150s.
Yeah.
I'm just, those two that are on, you know, off the top of my head, but I'm
And
always,
there's no one above 163rd Street. No one.
I'd have to look, I'd have to
Notable,
check
yeah.
where she put all those. I'd have to go on her website and look. But I know she really she was extremely diligent in her research. She was actually a public member of this committee, Karen Taylor. Like
Oh.
back in like 2018, 2019.
Interesting. Oh, I remember Karen. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember Karen very well. So yeah, I was just thought that'd be something to bring up. I'm not sure which committee it might fall under, but
We can check in with Wayne on that.
Seems like it's something like landmarks and preservation or something,
Yeah,
right?
sometimes
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
goes with land use, I think.
Yeah,
because it's not officially landmarking anything. It's just
yeah,
it's like a cultural plaque, but
yeah.
it is
Yeah,
on,
that's what
it is on
yeah.
buildings. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's like what hers is. So hers are blue.
Hmm.
And then it would be a question of where would they go? Because if they go on sidewalks, then that would be.
So hers is,
Traffic,
I'll take
yeah.
a picture
Yeah,
of the
okay.
one in front of my building and
Okay.
send it to you guys. So you
All
can
right.
see what
And I
I'm
can
talking.
send the website of this one I'm talking about around. And yeah, like for instance, like there's the building at the corner of 173rd and Amsterdam. That's where Lou Gehrig lived, in that building right across from High Bridge. You know, it's someone like that, you know, could have a plaque for themselves, for the community.
No, I think it's great. Yeah, I'll do a little more research into that too. On the We're Still Here and While We're Still Here. She also did a documentary of the same name. Okay, so any announcements? No. Okay. Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn. Oh, second, Jody.
I'll second it.
Okay, so that motion to adjourn at 7:58 PM. And thank you all, and to all a good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Alexis. Thank you, Crystal.
You're open to
Thanks.
go.